Have you ever wondered if you're truly unique or just another face in the crowd? Let's delve deeper into this. The concept of individuality, that idea that each of us is a unique entity with distinct qualities, is often overshadowed by societal norms and expectations. We're all born unique, yet as we grow, the pressures to conform often dull our individuality. We find ourselves trying to blend in, to be just like everyone else. But is that who we really are? Is that our true self? This brings us to the theme of self-discovery, the process of finding our true selves amidst the pressures of conformity. It's about peeling back the layers, shedding the masks we wear to fit in, and revealing the authentic us underneath. It's a journey that takes courage and introspection, but the reward is a life lived authentically, a life that is truly ours. So how does one start this journey of self-discovery? Stay tuned. Meet Sam, a typical young adult who has always followed the beaten path. He's the guy next door, the one you'd pass by on the street without a second glance. He's the guy who has always done what was expected of him, never stepping out of line, never daring to be different. Sam's life was a symphony of monotony, a series of checkboxes ticked off one by one. He graduated from college, got a 9-to-5 job, and settled into a routine that was as predictable as the sunrise. Every day was the same. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. It was a life that was void of excitement, devoid of passion. Yet, beneath the veneer of conformity, Sam was struggling. He was grappling with a sense of identity that felt as elusive as a shadow. He looked at his life and wondered, is this all there is? Is this who I am? He yearned for something more, something meaningful, something that would ignite a spark within him. This struggle wasn't just Sam's. It was, and is, a reflection of many young adults today. In a world that often values conformity over individuality, it's all too easy to lose sight of who we are. We become lost in the sea of faces, each one indistinguishable from the next. We fall into the trap of living someone else's life, forgetting that we have our own stories to tell, our own paths to forge. But it wasn't all doom and gloom for Sam. There was a flicker of hope, a glimmer of change on the horizon. You see, Sam was growing tired of the facade, the pretense of satisfaction. He was weary of the life he was leading, a life that felt like an ill-fitting suit. He was yearning for authenticity, for a life that was true to who he was. And so, one day, Sam made a decision that would change the course of his life forever. He decided he had had enough. It was time to stop conforming, time to stop pretending. It was time to find out who he really was. Like many of us, Sam's journey of self-discovery began with a simple yet profound question. What happens when we start questioning the ordinary? When we begin to examine the familiar and the routine? When we start to scrutinize the everyday choices we make? Well, the answer is we begin to understand ourselves better. We discover the core of our being, our true identity. This is exactly what happened with Sam. He started by questioning the life he was leading. Was he really happy? Was the 9-to-5 grind fulfilling him? Was this the life he had envisioned for himself? He began to realize that he was living a life that was dictated by societal norms, not by his own passions and desires. He was living a life of copy and paste, not of originality and authenticity. The importance of introspection and self-questioning cannot be overstated in this journey to self-discovery. It is through this process of inquiry that we start to peel back the layers of conditioning and expectation that have been imposed upon us. We begin to see the real us, the one that has been hiding beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. For Sam, this process was not easy. It was akin to walking through a dark tunnel with no light at the end, but he persisted. He continued to question, to probe, to analyze. He began to question not only the choices he was making, but also the reasons behind those choices. Why was he choosing to live a life that was not fulfilling him? Why was he settling for less when he knew he was capable of so much more? These questions led to a profound realization. He realized that he had been living his life on autopilot, following a path that was set out for him, not one that he had chosen for himself. He understood that he had been ignoring his true desires, his passions, his dreams. He had been suppressing his true self. And with that question, Sam set out on a journey that would change his life forever. Sam's journey was not easy, but it was worth every step. The first stage of Sam's journey was the stage of self-questioning. It was a period of introspection where he asked himself, who am I and what do I want? This stage was filled with doubts and confusion, but it was necessary for Sam to break free from the mold that society had cast for him. Challenges were aplenty during this time. Sam faced resistance from himself as he was afraid of the changes that might come. He also faced resistance from others who were content with the status quo and did not understand his need for change. But Sam persevered. He learned that change is part and parcel of life, and that it's okay to be different. Then came the stage of exploration. Sam began to try out new things, new experiences, and new ways of thinking. He read widely, traveled, met new people, and stepped out of his comfort zone. He was like a ship sailing into uncharted waters, braving the storms and waves in search of new lands. This stage was not without its difficulties either. There were times when Sam felt lost and overwhelmed. But he learned to navigate through the chaos. He learned to listen to his inner compass, to trust his intuition, and to follow his heart. He realized that there are no right or wrong choices, just different paths leading to different destinations. Finally, Sam reached the stage of self-realization. He discovered his passions, his values, and his purpose. He realized that he was not just a passive spectator in life, but an active participant. He had the power to shape his own destiny, to make his own choices, and to live according to his own rules. This stage was the most rewarding, but also the most challenging. Sam had to let go of old beliefs, old habits, and old identities that no longer served him. He had to face his fears, his insecurities, and his imperfections. But in doing so, he found his true self. He found his inner strength, his inner wisdom, and his inner peace. Sam's journey is a reflection of our own journeys. We all go through these stages in our quest for self-discovery. We all face challenges, learn lessons, and make changes. We all have the potential to find our true selves, to live authentically, and to shine our unique light in the world. Sam's journey was not just about finding himself, but also about accepting and embracing his true self. And that, my friends, is the true journey of self-discovery. It is a journey that takes courage, perseverance, and self-love. But it is a journey that is worth every step. So, what did Sam find at the end of his journey? He found himself. Not the version of himself that society had painted, or the image that was reflected back at him from the mirror of expectations. He found the real Sam, the one who had been there all along, waiting to be discovered. You see, the real you is not some mystical entity hidden in the depths of your soul. It is simply you stripped off all the layers of societal norms, expectations, and definitions. It's you without the filters, without the pretenses, without the need to conform. Sam's journey of self-discovery was not about creating a new self, but rather unearthing what was already there. It was about embracing his quirks, his passions, his dreams, and his fears. It was about accepting his strengths and acknowledging his weaknesses. It was about understanding that it's okay to be different, to be unique, to be himself. Embracing your uniqueness, your individuality, is not a rebellion against society. It is a declaration of self-love and self-acceptance. It's about saying, this is me with all my eccentricities, my oddities, my dreams, and my imperfections, and I'm okay with that. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, be yourself, because there's no one else in the world quite like you. You're not a copy, a clone, or a carbon copy of someone else. You're an original, a masterpiece. And here's the thing, the world needs you, not the version of you that's trying to fit in, or the one that's trying to be something you're not. The world needs the real you, the you who laughs too loud, who dreams too big, who loves too hard. The you who is not afraid to stand out, to take risks, to be different. In a world of copy and paste, don't be afraid to be the original you. After all, the journey to self-discovery starts with a single step. So, what can we learn from Sam's journey? Well, we've seen the significance of embracing our individuality in a world that often seems to encourage conformity. We've followed Sam's story, a tale that vividly illustrates the transformative power of self-discovery. We've seen how Sam, once lost in the crowd, found his unique voice and identity. In our journey through Sam's experiences, we've also delved into the concept of the real you. We've learned that this real you isn't about who you should be, or who others expect you to be. No, it's about who you genuinely are, with all your quirks, passions, and dreams. In essence, this journey we've embarked on today serves as a reminder that our individuality is our greatest strength. It's what sets us apart, what makes us unique. Remember, it's not about fitting in, but about finding out who you truly are. So start your journey today. Discover the real you.